Revenge therapy, a fiction. The narrator discusses the therapeutic benefits of torturing computer coders. As it says in the old recipe for rabbit stew, first catch a rabbit. In this case, first catch a coder. They're not as prolific as rabbits, not quite. But if you can catch one, the evidence now says it is by far the best cure for bloat stress. It might seem like an old wives' cure, but the studies are conclusive. If, for example, you have a job application due in by the next day, and the formatting in your document won't behave, and then it crashes, and a dialog box asks you if you want to save any changes, and then it gives you a menu of 65 different options, none of them relevant before you can continue, it helps considerably if you have a computer coder you can torture. They say the best place to catch a coder is in a pizza shop. I don't know, I caught mine in a games arcade. According to double-blind studies, it is far more effective than medication. These days, doctors are giving out blotapolin or bloatinor or bloatoplex plus, there are a range of them, like they're lolly water. But the same results or better can be had if you can catch a coder, keep him in your spare room and torture him every time your stress levels rise. One study showed that you might be tearing your hair out, you might have spent 3 hours on hold on a call to Microsoft, but if, at your wit's end, you can gouge out the eyes of a computer coder, stress markers drop by up to 30%. In some encouraging studies, adrenaline, cortisol, and a host of other anxiety compounds drop to such an extent that it even becomes possible to problem solve. As usual, Big Pharma likes to say that much more research needs to be done before this might be adopted as a widespread protocol, but the trend is away from medication in the first instance. A simple lifestyle change can keep someone med-free throughout the ongoing years. One study, in fact, although with a small cohort admittedly, suggested that significant improvement could be achieved just by slapping the coder around. It wasn't always necessary to stick him with pins or cut his fingers off. Indeed, another study said good results could be achieved just by telling the coder you were going to gouge his eyes out or cut his fingers off, and wait for his reaction, the placebo effect. 79% of people in that study said it made them feel better on a scale of 1 to 10. Coders, of course, are the people who sit around saying amongst themselves, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if..." Wouldn't it be cool if your favourite auto theft game set in 1940s Seattle suddenly featured aliens and a race of robots with laser beams that come out of their orifices, and all the cars have artificial intelligence? Wouldn't that be cool? It really helps if you can catch a coder, tie him up and stick bamboo under his fingernails. I'm not saying it obviates the need for intervention in clinical cases, but most cases of bloat stress under that threshold are amenable to this type of self-help. The best results are when a coder can be tied on a rack and relief is achieved with a hot poker. After this, people go back to their computers relaxed, with a more patient disposition. If it is algorithms that are the problem, the results are even more compelling. In a recent study in Sweden, 2 groups of people, reduced to suicidal ideation by algorithms, were either given mega doses of the new drug Bloticol, or they were allowed to torture coders, even if it was not clear that they were the coders who had fucked over the algorithm. The Bloticol group reported mild relief, but the torture cohort had a great time. They reported much higher satisfaction levels. The message seems to be clear. If you can torture a coder in good time, there is every chance you can go back to your computer without it impacting your blood pressure too severely. I was doing some doom scrolling recently. I saw a link I rather liked. It instantly opened another window. Then there was a window asking about the cookies. Then there was the ad from Amnesty International, After that I had to verify my email, but my email reported it as an unfamiliar account, froze my banking and demanded a 60-second selfie video, all the while with the side window trying to sell me Omniworld 3, whatever that might be. Ordinarily this would all spike my blood pressure, but instead I went into the other room, tortured my coder for a while, and then went back to the problem with a fresh perspective. My head shrinker is sceptical, but the results speak for themselves. It is part of the new trend towards revenge therapy. The new thinking says that rehabilitation is never really complete until the victim has extracted sweet revenge. Nothing heals better than revenge. If you are sitting stewing in a morass of bloatware and the algorithms are treating you like a Russian spy and they've just phased out the click-through option on the advertisements, there is no need to internalise the trauma. Go down to your pizza shop or the games arcade, find yourself a coder and take it out on him. That's the healthy option. I do hear that some coders are employing bodyguards these days. When the latest so-called upgrade of Space Rebels, the one with the built-in chatbot, was so wildly unpopular that fans formed vigilante groups to dox the coders responsible, the coders went to ground and employed security. But every half-wit who should be a plumber is a coder these days, and it is not too hard to find a loose one and put him to the thumbscrews. There is no point interrogating him. There's no point saying to him, "What were you thinking?" He'll just say, "Or, I thought it would be cool," at which point you are quite within your rights to turn on the electricity and zap him with a few thousand volts, just for his trouble. The actual physiological mechanisms involved in the cure are not fully understood. The chemistry appears to be much the same as any exhilaration, but the working hypothesis is that torturing someone who is not a coder, a random bystander or a volunteer, is not nearly as much fun. Again, the therapeutic setting would appear to be revenge. You have to believe that the torture is being inflicted on some bastard who really deserves it. In that case it is, as the studies show, efficacious. I therefore urge readers not to be too hasty when it comes either to medication or to suicidal ideation. You could try the natural cure. What is the natural thing to do after all? Outside of the cyber realm, in the real world, if someone bloats your day with endless crap, what do? You break his elbow or drill a hole in his skull. And who is it that bloats our days with endless crap? Computer coders. Wouldn't it be cool if? Imagine if someone came into your tool shed and messed with all your work tools. You pick up your hammer one day and it has 6 different settings and plays rap music. Wouldn't that be cool? The important thing is not to take it personally. Objectify. First, catch a coder. Then give him some of the hell that you've lived through.